friends, it's Amanda here, and you know I'm always excited for a new ColourPop product. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I'm just going to call it the Pretty Fresh Foundation. Not to be confused with this little baby. This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I know a lot of people are wondering what's the difference between these two. There's a big difference in coverage. The Pretty Fresh Foundation is a medium coverage. The Tinted Moisturizer is a very, very light coverage. You're also getting more of a natural finish from the Pretty Fresh Foundation, while the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer has a very dewy finish. There's also a difference in the number of shades. Because the Tinted Moisturizer is a lower coverage, it can be more forgiving across more skin tones. So I think there was 24 shades of this. Pretty sure 24. Editing Amanda will correct me. And the Pretty Fresh Foundation has 42 shades. We love to see it. We love to see it. So I wanted to answer that question right off the bat. That's the difference between these two. I'm going to give you the full scoop on this foundation. It is priced at $16 US. Most of the shades are currently available from Ulta. I think they have 29 of the shades. I don't know why they don't have all the shades. The full shade range will be available on ColourPop's website on Thursday, July 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. ColourPop is cruelty-free. This foundation is completely vegan. It's oil-free, alcohol-free, and fragrance-free. I do have the full shade range. I'm going to do swatches of all 42 shades for you. Before I get into that part of the video, I get a handful of comments anytime I do a full range swatch video from people who are concerned that one person, that person being me in this case, having the full range of foundations is excessive, it's wasteful, it's not environmentally friendly, and what have you. So I just want to go ahead and address that head on because I think that those comments come from a really valid place of concern. I want to sort of soothe those concerns for you if I can. I can only speak for myself and my experience and what I do with my product. First of all, why would a company send 42 foundations to a person with one face? Well, I think the main reason is this video that you're watching right now. I'm going to be able to create this resource that can potentially help the thousands of people who hopefully watch this video. And if they only sent me 2 or 3 shades, then I wouldn't be able to create this informational resource for you. And I am a heck of a lot cheaper than any commercial advertising, so this is not impacting your shipping time, it's not impacting how much your product costs. So sort of everybody benefits. Sending me 40 foundations is a lot cheaper than them sponsoring a video or whatever it may be. This video is not sponsored. The next part of this question or concern is that it's wasteful, and if I was just going to either let all of these foundations like sit on the shelf and rot, or if I was just going to throw them all in the trash, then it certainly would be incredibly wasteful. That is never, ever, ever, ever what I do. The only products that I throw away are things that I've personally been using that are either used up or expired. When it comes to something like this, where I get a whole range of foundations or concealers or really anything sent to me, there are a few different directions that I go with that product, but I never just throw it in the trash. Of course, one thing that I might do is donate, and when it comes to a foundation like this, where it has the pump, it's super easy to sanitize, so I'll just sanitize all these pumps and donate them. My mom actually helped start a nonprofit that provides support to women, specifically women who have gone through addiction recovery. So I'll often donate a lot of product to that organization. Of course, I have, emotional ties to it. It's something that affects my community back home, something that has affected my family. So that's one place that a lot of my product goes to. I also know a young man who's a makeup artist. I met him on Instagram years ago. He is absolutely lovely. Go follow Bernard Hunter. Every once in a while when I get a full range like this, for example, when the no filter concealers came out, I sent that whole range to him for his kit. He was starting to really work jobs doing runway and editorial, and you know, he was starting to work as a makeup artist, and I felt like that product could really impact and benefit one of our own, a young makeup artist starting out, to help them fill out their kit. So that's another thing that I will do from time to time, is just take a whole range and give it to a makeup artist. The last thing that I'll do, probably what I'll end up doing with these foundations, I'll reach out to my friends who are also YouTubers and bloggers, Instagrammers, people who are in the beauty space, who all have different skin tones than me. And for example, with the tinted moisturizers, I sent a bunch of them out to other YouTubers so that they could review them. So it's sort of like twofold benefiting our YouTube community here. That way you can see people with other skin tones use them, you can hear other people's reviews, people with different skin types, people with different preferences. So then you're not just getting my opinion about this and then it disappears forever. You get my opinion, I will, you know, sanitize the little pumps, send them out to a bunch of my YouTube friends, and then you can hear their opinions too. So that was a long, rambly, far too in-depth response to why somebody like me gets a full shade range like this, then what happens to it after my video. I genuinely hope that that makes sense. I hope it makes you feel better. I try to be as transparent as I can be about things like this, and I do think this is a very valid concern. So hopefully that kind of calmed your worries about this. Okay, so let's get back to the foundation now. Here's a close-up of the packaging. This is 1 fluid ounce of foundation, so standard size foundation. This looks like a frosted glass, but it's actually a plastic bottle, so it's not super heavy. There's a little clear cap that you pull off, and then you can see here it has a little pump dispenser. Just for your reference, if you're somebody who has used the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, I use the shade Light 5N in the Tinted Moisturizer, and in the Pretty Fresh foundation I am Light 55N, just in case you're curious. For Pretty Fresh concealer, I use Light 40N, but I like something just a little bit lighter than my skin tone so that I can get that brightening effect. So that's my Pretty Fresh concealer shade, but it is just a hair lighter than my natural skin tone. There are 42 shades. There are 6 different shade categories. Each one of those shade categories has 7 shades within it. So there are 7 fair, 7 light, 7 medium, there's 7 medium dark shades, 7 dark shades, and then 7 deep dark shades. Each one of those shade categories has a range of undertones: neutral, warm, and cool undertones. So how about I stop talking about it and show you the swatches now. I'm not going to narrate too much over these swatches just because there's not much to say, but I did want to let you know that I'm going to be showing little comparisons like this for about 10 seconds between each of the consecutive shade categories. If you need longer to inspect the shades, then you can always just pause the video, and now go ahead and enjoy some royalty-free background music. Now that you've seen all the foundation shades swatched, I want to show you my application demo. That way you can see up close and personal what this foundation looks like on the skin, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I'm starting off just showing you a shot of my clean, bare face so you can have sort of a baseline of where we're starting. I'm using the shade Light 55N. I'm first going to apply this just to one side of my face. That way we can see a true side-by-side with one side with one layer of foundation. I used my beloved Pretty Fresh sponge to blend that foundation in, and here's what it looks like. One side with no foundation at all, one side with one quick layer of the Pretty Fresh foundation, and you can tell it still looks really natural, but it's definitely a lot more even, really nice natural looking coverage. Of course, I had to go ahead and even out the other side, so I'm doing the exact same thing, just dabbing on with my fingers, and then I'm going to blend in with the sponge. Every time I edit video like this, I wish that I could blend my foundation in this quickly. That would be my superpower of choice. Now here's a close-up of my skin with just one layer of this foundation all over it. There's nothing else, no powder, no concealer, no nothing, just the foundation up close and personal. And then I did want to give you a side-by-side of my completely bare face with one layer of foundation next to it. That way you can really see the transformation. Here's my full finished makeup. I did do concealer on top. I did not powder my face. I did not use setting spray. I just did a little blush and highlight. I haven't really been doing a lot of bronzer. I never really did contouring, but I mean, let's get in there. My chin is an area where I get a lot of dryness. It doesn't look like it's bunching up. Usually around my nose and in my little forehead wrinkles is where I get a lot of product that collects. But I just think it looks so beautiful. So good. I think you could probably tell from the application demo and then my little full face check-in. I love this foundation. I think it looks absolutely stunning on the skin. My whole face coverage that I showed you was about 1.5 pumps in total, and it just blended out beautifully. It's not settling into any of my little lines and cracks and crevices. It doesn't feel like it's just sitting on top of my skin. It really looks and feels very natural. It's got a beautiful medium coverage. It's definitely evening out my skin tone, but it doesn't look so heavy that it looks fake. It still looks skin-like. It doesn't look like a mask of makeup, but it definitely did the job evening everything out. It's no surprise. I expected that I was gonna love this because I loved the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. I swear by the Pretty Fresh concealer. So as soon as I knew this was coming out, I figured I was gonna love it. I hoped so much that I was gonna love it, and I love it. I think it's beautiful. This is probably one of the nicest foundations that I have in my collection, and I love that they went with a natural finish instead of a really, really dewy or really, really radiant finish, because this is something that's gonna work for more than just dry skin types. It's not too dry or too matte for my dry skin, and I have very, very dry, dehydrated skin. It's also not glowy, radiant, and it's not super, super dewy like the Tinted Moisturizer, so I can see this working really well for a lot of different skin types. I love the shade range. I love the finish. I love it. I love it. That's all I gotta say. I think it's beautiful. I think it's great. Such a wonderful addition to the ColourPop family, especially because I did not like the no filter foundation. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this product. Are you excited for this? Are you trying it out? Did you already order it from Ulta? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! This is the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. Next up in the world of product names that are too long. Ooh, okay. Excuse me, camera. Didn't mean to run into you there. You know. I don't know what I'm talking about. What's new? Ooh. Whew, I'm out of breath. I'm scared to talk about donating things because I'm afraid that somebody's nasty comment will like ruin it for me. That's why I stopped talking about declutters. I just, maybe that sounds silly because you would think, oh, who cares? You're still doing something nice. But I just always felt like keeping that stuff to myself. I didn't want somebody to say, oh, you're just talking about this so that you look like whatever for clout or whatever. I don't want somebody to kind of crap on the causes that I support. So I just sort of keep all of that stuff to myself. I keep it private. But just know that my family, Real Life Amanda, but also Makeup.Just.For.Fun, we donate a lot. And it's something that I really believe in and that I'm really like happy to be able to do. But just because you don't see people talking about that kind of stuff does not mean that it's not happening. It's just, you know, one bad apple ruins the bunch. Maybe sometime I'll talk about it, I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to this video that I'm filming. Just ignore, if you see any facial hair, just ignore that. It's fine. We're all mammals here. So good. Sorry. Sorry. Commitment to matching nails, anyone? Gotta go find all of my YouTuber friends and see which shades they want so that you can get a bunch more reviews. Hey, everybody wins. Okay, gotta go. I love your face. I don't care if you haven't brushed your hair and you haven't worn real pants in 3 months. I haven't either. I still love your face. Put a mask on it when you leave. Wash your hands. Love your face. Bye.